Choosing a lawyer is a lot like choosing a doctor. And some of the things that I would urge people to look at or to consider, first you got to trust your gut. I mean, God has given us gut instincts for a reason. And most of the time, they're right. And so if you're in that situation and you're trying to consider whether you should hire a lawyer, I think if your initial interaction leaves you at all uneasy, then that's probably telling you this may not be the right decision. Second, I'd urge you, to the extent that you can, look at what other people are saying about the law firm or the lawyers as opposed to what the lawyers are saying about themselves. I think we all have a tendency to put more stock in what the customer is saying. That's why groups or organizations like Angie's List are so popular. So if you can take a look at, what sort of Google reviews do they have? That's probably the source that I think of the most, because we all know that Google is sort of the search engine that drives our lives in many ways. So take a look at those sort of things and read through them and say, do these sound legit? Does this appear to be legitimate reviews? I can tell you that we've prided ourselves on the types of reviews that our clients have left about us. We didn't write a single one of those reviews. Every one of those reviews came from the heart and came from our clients individually. They wrote it in terms of what their true feelings were about their interaction with our law firm. And then you dig into sources of information about the firm. I mean, you can go to a firm's website, but it's more than just having pictures of the lawyers there and a picture of two cars that have crashed into each other and saying this is what we handle. I mean, have the lawyers in the firm been leaders within the bar? I mean, we're proud of the fact. My partner, Mark Joy, has been the past president of the South Carolina Association of Justice. He's been president of the South Carolina chapter of the American Board of Trial Advocates, which is the most prestigious organization when it comes to people who actually try cases. I'm proud to have been the past president of Injured Workers Advocates, which is the preeminent group in our state looking out for the rights of injured workers. And several other lawyers within our firm have also held positions as officers with organizations like this. And that's an indication that tells you something about how the lawyers are perceived by their peers and also by members of the judiciary. And I think that's important. But it really is just a matter, the more serious your case is, the more important it is that you do your homework. I always tell folks, look, if you've been in an accident and you've had a whiplash injury, I know it hurts. I mean, I had a neck injury a few weeks ago, and it hurt like the devil for about 3 days. I mean, I couldn't move my head at all. So that's a real injury, and you're entitled to compensation. But chances are that within 2-3 weeks, you're going to be back to 100%. And so if you make a mistake and perhaps you hire a lawyer that's not as experienced to handle that sort of a case, you're not going to be damaged that much because your case isn't worth that much. But if you've suffered a type of injury where you're worried about whether or not you're ever going to be able to go back to work, you need to do your homework, because that's a very important decision that you're getting ready to make. You're really putting your future and your family's future in the hands of the law firm that you hire. And to make a mistake on a decision that important, it's going to have long-term ramifications. So dig in, do your homework, try to get as much information as you can from other sources, and then trust your gut to make the right decision.